word element can mean quite a few things in art and design, but in this tutorial I'm going to be talking about the elements that are used in art journaling, and they are the little extra bits that you can put into your journal or your sketchbook for decorative reasons or for compositional reasons. And I really like to make my own elements. Now, of course, you can buy them. You can buy gorgeous elements. You can buy stickers, and you can buy pages that you can cut out and things like that. And obviously, you can use magazines to find different sorts of elements that you can use in your art journaling. But I really think that when we make our own, we can take our journaling to another level because it becomes much more personal and, of course, totally unique. And we're just going to be using some watercolor paint, some fairly good quality paper, although you could use wallpaper lining paper, which I really like to use. And we're just going to have a little bit of fun in this week's Doodle Club. So welcome! Welcome if you are new. It's so nice to have you here, and welcome back if you've been with me for a while. This is a very friendly place, a gentle space for us to explore lots and lots of different sorts of ideas. So enough of me waffling on, let's go. We're going to use a variety of different types of paper depending on what we're going to put on the paper. I've got some photocopier paper, some white card that is about 200 grams, and some cartridge paper and some watercolor paper. You could use wallpaper lining paper as well. So what we're going to start off with is watercolor paper. I'm going to use my Analinki watercolors that have all gone slightly mucky. I've been using them a lot recently. I love the vibrancy of these colors. They're just fabulous. They really are. I'm just going to just put a bit of water onto the paint, and then I've just got my jug here, and I'm just going to start by putting just some dots of water on the page. Now it's quite warm here, unusually, and so I'm just going to do a few dots at a time because they're going to dry quickly. I'm doing a mixture of orange and yellow on this page. It's just just going to move that there a bit more. So these little dots of orange and yellow, like this. Just let the water just disperse like that. I hope you're well and you're doing lots of exciting things, and that you've got lots of ideas and projects that you want to be working on. So that I love reading your weather updates. That's always lovely. There we go. So I have got a page of orange dots. I'm going to put that to one side to dry, and it won't take that long to dry, I think, in this lovely weather that we're having in Dorset. Okay, I've now got some card, and this time I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to put some dots on the page, and this time I'm going to use blues and turquoise colours just on the cardboard. The card, sorry, not the cardboard. The card, it's not as good as watercolour paint, but it will still serve our purposes. So if that's all you have, then that's what you use. Let's just put that, letting that disperse a little bit over there, just sort of mixtures of turquoise and ultramarine. some pale. Just disperse that one like that. I'm going to put that one to dry. Now, while we're waiting for those to dry, I'm going to take my copier paper. This is just very, very simple technique here. I'm going to, oh, that's dripped on here. You could use felt tip pens, you could use acrylic markers. These are, they've got little brushes on them, and we're just going to do the same sort of thing. We're just going to add some dots to the page like this. I love doing this technique. It's so simple. When I do this with my students, especially my little ones, it's just lovely. It's so lovely. Now I've lost the colours that I wanted. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to do some acrylic, because even the tiny ones can do this, and it is just so good. And it's the sort of fun thing that you can do when you're tired, or when you think, oh, I just don't know what to do, or but I want to do something. Then just this sort of thing is just fun. So yeah, this is just a felt tip brush, which will work just as well. I'm going to put that one to one side, and then I'm going to do another one in oranges and golds. Let's do this here. And what we will end up with is, oh, that's running out, 4 pages of little elements that we can use in our art journaling, for card making, you know, that kind of thing, which is just so nice, because it will mean that your work is completely original. And it is lovely buying stickers and elements, and and I will do that, because some of them are just absolutely adorable, aren't they? They're just so lovely. But sometimes it's really nice to have something that is just totally yours, completely unique. Just put that there and there. Okay. Now the watercolours paint is still drying, so I thought I would go straight on with this one. I'm using a fine liner pen. You could use a biro. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw around some of these shapes, and we're going to put in some flowers. Now, we are going to be cutting these out, so it doesn't matter which way round they go. And you can just fill up the space. Don't think about it too much. You could do some with more spiky petals, but again, you make it your own. That's the thing. Let's just do that. I quite like doing these little bobbly bits on the leaves. I think that could be fun. And you're going to work your way through all of them. There we go. I'm going to do them really quickly. Like this. Now I have made quite a few sheets of elements like this, and they are available if you think that you would like to have some of mine, which you're very welcome to use. I'm just going to turn that round. But again, I still encourage you to do your own as well. That's that. And like that. And you don't get bogged down with the details too much. The idea of these kind of spontaneous little flower elements is that they have this idea of being free. And of course they're hand drawn, which again will make them unique. Oh, I'll put that one in there. Let's just do this one here. And that one, stem can go that way, that can go that way. And you put the stems wherever they're going to fit. Like this. There we go, the last one. So you have a whole page, and then we get to the kind of the boring bit really, is where we have to cut them all out. But you know, you could put on some nice music, you can make yourself a cup of tea, and you can then cut them out. Right, let's just go to this next one. Now we could do the same sort of thing, and I will do some flowers. Let's get that lined up here. And this time I'm going to sort of do them as a sort of, these sort of bigger petals, a bit like roses, I think. Those sort of slightly different design. I'm going around there. Let's just do another one like that. And then I might do something that is actually much bigger. Like that one, for example. Let's just fit that one in as well. And that one. And then this one could be another kind of like rose. So you play with it and you see what you like and see what will just make you happy. Huge advocate for doing things that make us happy. So I've got a bit of space around this one. Let's just do a larger one in there. And then I like to cut these out and then store them so that I can use them throughout the week. And some I will take to my art journaling class, and so other people can use them. And other times I will use them in my own journaling as well, which is just quite nice to have. So let's sort of wiggle that bit round there. And they're a little bit quirky and quite fun. So I haven't put any stems on these because I think I'm going to cut them out without stems. And once they're stuck in my book, I could always put stem on them if I want to. So there we go. I've got that one and that one all ready to be cut out. There are just so many ways that you can make your own elements, and I really encourage you to try all sorts of things. These are just children's wax crayons, and what I'm going to do is just to create a bit of a background. This is still on copier paper, so really cheap paper. You could use newsprint, and for this this one, it's actually better to use cheap paper. It works really, really well. There we go. Just putting the colour on the background. I'm just keeping it this sort of warm orange and yellow like this. And then I'm going to take my red crayon and I'm just going to do some larger dots. So these are going to be larger flowers and hearts, but you know, you can use the technique however you want because it just works really well. You know, hopefully you're going to get some ideas of your own. You think, oh yeah, I could try that, that could work. And then within those I'm just going to add a little bit more depth of colour. Again, these are just cheap children's crayons. Nothing fancy. I think it's always good to try out these sorts of materials, because they can actually be so good. They really can. Now, I've just got another felt tip pen. Oh, let me just angle that a little bit better, I think. Let's try it there. And I'm just going to put in some shapes. You can't really see that. Let me just change the colour of that one. I wanted it to be a slightly more subtle, but that's fine. I just want you to see this. Again, I'm just kind of keeping these very, very loose. These are going to be sort of larger flowers. The wax crayon and then the felt tip pen, just around the edges like that. Obviously it dries really, really quickly. Then I'm going to take my fine liner pen. You could use a black biro, or Sharpie pen, and then we're just going to do some spirals in the middle, and then we're going to put in our petals. Again, don't sort of think about it too much. Just see where the marks of the felt tip went. Just sort of put in your own, break your own rules. It's always a good thing to do that. That kind of thing. There we go. There we go. Thank you for all your lovely comments. I really do love reading them. It's a terrific community here. And I love it. So if you are new and you haven't kind of joined in with writing comments about the weather and what you're doing with your grandchildren or your children, or like walking the dog, or the cat. My cats haven't made an appearance this week yet. I think it's too hot, actually. They've both gone a little bit dopey. It was last week that Monty decided to just sleep on my desk for about 3 days, actually. So there's that one, which again I really like, and I'll be cutting those out. So let's do something similar, but with the blue. Same technique, not worrying about it. Just sort of putting in some blues, some purples. I really like having a contrast between warm colours and cool colours. That's just me. You do whatever you want. There we go. Let's just put that quite a sort of scribbly background. It's quite fun like that. Now this one I'm going to do slightly smaller dots like this. Let's do some sort of purple ones like that. That works quite well. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Like that. I'm going to go back in with my felt tip brushes. Do some around the edges. It will interact a little with the wax, but not much. That's the bright turquoise. Let's look a bit more blue. Some bigger than others. That's fine. You're going to use them for all sorts of things, and it just means that you will have a stash that you can use for a variety of different projects, which would be really good, be really fun. Okay, so I thought I would use a darker marker pen for these ones. Just gives it a different effect. That. Quite liking these. I don't know whether you have joined the August challenge, the colour challenge. I'm posting some prompts each week on the Facebook group, Friday Art and Doodle Club group, and the community tab on YouTube, and on my Instagram. So if you haven't checked out my Instagram, it's just Capefield Artist, and I post sort of visuals on there and sort of other bits and pieces. There we go, like that. But the challenge is just exploring colour. I just thought it might be quite fun. You can join in if you want to and do as much and as little as you like, which is kind of the best way, really, isn't it? Because stuff gets in the way sometimes, and we have to just see what we can do. And some days we can do lots of things, and other times we can go for several weeks and not do anything at all. And that's just the way it is. Okay, so we have this one, and this one, and this one, all waiting to be cut out. And the watercolour ones are going to be dry in a moment, and we will do something on those next. So I thought I'd show you another technique. So I've done exactly the same, put some blobs of water and then dripped the colour on. And I've now just got some spray. This is just water that I'm going to spray onto the paint that I've just done. Because what I want to do is just sort of move some of the paint around just a little bit. Again, on the background to create these kind of more abstract shapes. I'm never quite sure what is going to happen when you move paper around, but I'm quite liking that. But obviously, because this is where it's going to take a little while longer to dry, but I just thought it'd be quite nice to play with this idea as well. Oh, this is the orange watercolour that we did at the beginning, and I'm going to be using my acrylic marker. I'm just going to cover a bit so that we don't get smudges. And with the acrylic marker, I'm going to do a more kind of defined petal shape. And again, I'm just sort of using the space that I have, because that will actually make the flower elements, they will just look so much better than if every petal was exactly the same. And because I know that I'm going to be cutting these out, where they actually land on the page doesn't really matter. Let's do this one like that. So you might have some ideas already of what you could do with these, and I'm going to show you a few ideas at the end of this tutorial of some of the things that I do with these sorts of elements. Go like that. If you would like to join the Facebook group and you haven't done that yet, it's a very, very friendly place. You'll be made very welcome. People of all levels, absolute beginners to people who are more experienced, sharing ideas, being very, very encouraging. So it's lovely. It's a lovely, lovely space. And the link is in the description of how to join that group. If you would like to join this channel and be a member of Open Studio, that is in the description as well. I'm doing 2 layers of membership. Creative Fan and Creative Explorer. And with the Explorer, you will have full access to a course that I ran a couple of years ago. Oh, and that's run out. Never mind, I need another one. A course I ran a couple of years ago, called the Successful Artist Boot Camp, except that it wasn't called that then. I called it the Creative Procrastinators Boot Camp, but it was an actual boot camp, a real live one, not online. And I wrote a book from that to support the students who attended, and you can buy a copy of the book. The link is in the description if you want to do that. But if you join the Creative Explorers membership, you will get access to the whole course, which is a 5 weeks really, course helping you to just sort of develop your art, choose what you want to do. You might be one of those people who's just interested in everything and you don't know where to start, or you're very, very easily distracted, which is definitely me, which is why I developed the course, because I honestly could not tell you what my favourite bit of art is. I like working with all sorts of media, and I could never decide which I wanted to do, and so it can get very frustrating because you do end up either not starting anything at all, or starting something and then getting distracted, going off to something, so you never get anything finished. So if that sounds like you, then you might like the boot camp. There we go. Right, so that was quite fun, because as I was kind of talking, then my pen ran out and I had to change it. But that's okay. These things happen. These ones I will cut out individually, and we're then going to move on to the blue and purple and do something similar. So with this one, we're not going to do flowers, we're going to do hearts, and we have the starting point with the colour, and we're just going to draw little hearts around each shape, and I might do some little flourishes on some of these. Again, these are going to be cut out, and they can be used for all sorts of things, as I've said before. Let's do that. So I think we're getting some ideas of the sort of things that you could do. And let's move that there again. Again, it's just really nice to just doodle, isn't it? Sort of play around with an idea and see where it goes. Now I do keep all of these sort of in little boxes and a drawer, so that I do access them easily. And a couple of people have asked me about how I organise my my art materials and the pieces that I do, like my collage pieces, because I've got a lot of those. And I am going to do a tutorial on that, which might be unbelievably dull for some people, but other people might like it. So here we are, we've got those series of hearts, and we've got those ones, and we've got those ones as well. Now, I did start to cut out some of these, and I will do a little bit more, and then I will show you what I do with them. So in a tutorial that I did last week, I think it was, I showed you how to make these little
little booklets. And I love using them. I use these sorts of books all the time for they just make me happy. They really do. And I use all sorts of collage in them, and I use all sorts of paper. Like this one is made of tissue paper. It's very, very flimsy, and I've just put some card on the back and then stuck one of my old collage pieces. And what we can do, I'll show you this one a bit later. If you haven't checked out this tutorial on how to make this folding card, I will link it so that you can see. Let me just put that like that, and then we can spread that bit out, because it's all made out of one sheet of paper, which you can, oh, here we go, see, so it's just oh, let me just move that up there. I'm making a bit of a mess of this. There we go. So it's made out of one sheet of paper, which means that you can decorate it all at once if you want to, or you can do it individually. It's entirely up to you. It doesn't matter. But here's my little basket with my elements in. Oh, and what's this one? Oh, this is a little card. Ah, yes. It's just a little fold card. Very, very easy to do. Little concertina card. And again, I sort of put some of my elements on that one. That was a little unexpected. I hadn't realised that was in there. So obviously, you've got these elements. You can put them in however you want, do whatever you want with them as they are. You could do that. Or you can do some background stuff. I'm just going to fold this one back up. Oop. This paper is very flimsy until you sort of start to put some things on it, when it gets a little bit more substantial. Let's go back to this one. Now this is a proper junk journal. It is made of all sorts of bits and pieces. It's just a simple concertina, but it is just made up of all sorts of bits, and I am going to do a tutorial on how I make my junk journals, because they are proper junk journals, and all the things that are in it are leftover bits and pieces. And I've started to sort of put a few things in this one, and I thought, I've got this lovely music page here, so I'm going to put in some of my elements. I might cut that one up a little bit more, and I'll just use either double-sided tape or a glue, just a glue stick, to pop them in, because I think they can look really sweet. Now, these are ones that I did the other day. Let me find, so this was one I've just done. I've just cut out that heart. And what I'm going to do is to get a white acrylic pen. Let's just zoom down here and put a few dots. And you could use gold or silver. Dots are just wonderful, actually. I really like doing dots. They make me happy. So I'll just put a few there, a few little dots. Perhaps one of these ones as well. Put a few little dots like that. So let's get, see, I did another one, and I put a bit of gold marking on that one as well. So you can just have a bit of a play with them. So I'm just going to show you what I do with this one that doesn't have a stem. So we're going to stick it on to the page. Let's just put a little bit of glue on the back like this. That's just white glue. Just press that one down. Might take a little while to stick, and then I'm going to get one of my green acrylic pens,
Oh, it's good I pick up one that doesn't work. Oh, there we go. And then I put in my stem like that. Let's just move that one out of the way for the moment. I'm just going to get this little one out. So again, this is one that I did in a previous tutorial. Just had a bit of watercolor on the space. This is this one. Again, I've started to put in some of the inspirational words, and so there is a download if you want the inspirational word, the sheet. It's free if you'd like that one. There we go, it's in the description. I'm just going to pop that one in there, and then there's another one. That one's a bit big, I think we need some. Yeah, that's quite a quirky one, isn't it? And I think I'm going to put a few more dots on that. So there's that one, and then I did a few more in this one. I'm going to put this one, I think, is just waiting for a little heart like that. I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial and you've got lots of ideas of what you can do to create your own little elements for your journal and your sketchbook. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, then you might like to do that. That would be really nice. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, it's a very, very friendly place, and the link is below. Now, the other thing that you might like to do is to become a member. So my Open Studio membership is now open. I'm very excited about that. And again, all the details are below. And for August, I know you might not be watching this in August 2024, but in August 2024, for my Creative Explorer membership, you will have access to additional courses, plus the Successful Artists Bootcamp, which is all very exciting. So thank you again so much for watching. And if you want to see some more, you could look at this one or this one. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.